That is a W for your New York Knickerbockers as they beat the Orlando Magic. Final score 121-106. Is that the big bad Magic? Is that the big bad Magic? 12-1 in their last 13 games. Yada, yada, yada. Coming into the MSG, the hottest team in the league. We'll make that 12-2 in your last 14 games as the New York Knicks straight dominate the Orlando Magic, sending a message early on in the season. We are here. We are coming, and the New York Knicks are hitting their stride at the exact perfect moment. Perfect moment. 5 straight home wins. The Knicks are now 13-8 on the season. Boy, oh boy, this game was such an amazing game for the Knicks. A lot of stuff went well tonight. Just straight domination from start to finish. Looking more like that Pelican game last game. But they said it was the Pelicans. Now the big bad Magic came into MSG. And we weren't scared. Knicks balled the heck out, man. They were ready for the challenge. Ready for the moment. National televised vehicle. Guys, 13-8 on the season. 5 straight wins in Madison Square Garden. What's going on, everyone? I see you guys in the chat. We're just getting started here for the Knicks Nation postgame. Guys, I thought early on in the first, the Knicks did a tremendous job against the Orlando Magic team because this Knicks team got down 8 early points in the first quarter. And the contributions, I mean, everyone that stepped on the floor tonight for this Knicks team contributed. Brunson, I thought, set the tone early. Brunson and Cat, the pick and rolls was working early. Magic couldn't stop it. And I mean, as all season, they can't stop that damn thing. And I thought the bench unit, Deuce McBride, Campaign. First of all, I love Campaign, man. Campaign is quickly becoming one of my favorite Knicks ever. Because this guy he's just a ball of energy. And the tandem between Deuce McBride and Campaign, I thought Deuce came in the game and he looks healthy. He looks good. Great game from Deuce. The tandem between the chemistry that Campaign and Deuce McBride are building right now, are currently building, it's honestly a treat to watch because those two are forming a chemistry. And I just can't wait until that grows, obviously throughout the season. But guys, from Mikal Bridges, so many honorable mentions tonight, and we'll get through it all. Appreciate every single one of you in the chat. We're just getting started. West End, what's going on? Daniel, what is going on? This Rover, what's going on? Big W in Madison Square Garden. That's 5 straight W's. Nostalgic, what's going on, man? Always appreciate you in here, Nostalgic. Yo, Alpha. What's going on? Anthony says, let's go Knicks. Shout out to you, bro, doing your thing. Anthony, appreciate you, man. Just hopping on here. Another Knicks Nation post game. Great win for the squad, man. That's, NBA Cup. So the Knicks advance to the, they play the Atlanta Hawks now. And I think the quarterfinals in the NBA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So whether you care about that or not, there was a bunch of scenarios where the Knicks could have played Boston. I think we're playing Atlanta now. We could have played the Bucks, but we advanced to the quarterfinals in the NBA Cup. And, but nonetheless, either way, NBA Cup, put that aside or not, this was a major win for this ball club, for the basketball club. I came into this game, first of all, I woke up today in such a good mood, right? Like, I had this game circled on our calendar. The Magic have been the talk of the NBA. They've been the talk of the town. And credit to them. They've been playing extremely well without Paolo. And I was excited for this game. Knicks coming off that blowout win versus the Pelicans. How would they respond? Because, the Knicks have been kind of like hot and cold throughout, the season. And now they're 8-2 in their last 10. back-to-back blowout games. So your starters aren't playing any heavy minutes. And you beat a Magic team that was 12-1 in their last 13 games. Like I said earlier, make that 12-2 in your last 14 games, Magic. This is no slight at Orlando, but all we heard was the big, bad Orlando Magic. And your New York Knickerbockers are coming, ladies and gentlemen. We're hitting our stride. We are hitting our stride at the exact perfect moment. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. Hit some of these comments in the chat, and then we'll get into the game, get into all the crux of the game. Just absolutely A+ performance. If I was to give this Knicks team a grade, obviously it'll be A+ because just straight domination from this Knicks team. Tony, what's going on? Magic shot the three horrible. Yeah, they shit the three horrible too, Tony. I mean, they were terrible. Mike, what's going on? I think we figured it out. I don't know what to say. The defense is looking a lot better. Bridges is hitting his shots. JB passing the rock. Bench is looking elite. Mike, what's going on? Always appreciate you in here. Let's look at this game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at this basketball game. Beautiful box score, as I like to call it. Straight domination from your New York Knickerbockers. And let's go to the Knicks. Mike, you brought up Mikal Bridges, right? And this is now back-to-back games from Mikal Bridges where he just looks super comfortable. Looks great. I think his home splits are amazing. He loves playing in the Madison Square Garden. 19 points, 2 of 6 from 3. And how about that big shot to close the half from Mikal Bridges? First of all, how about that throw from Josh Hart? How about that tip pass from Karl-Anthony Towns? And how about that shot to bank in a 3 from Mikal Bridges? I didn't hear him call it, but I don't care. It all counts. So Mikal defensively was awesome tonight. And obviously OG Anunoby had the assignment of Wagner tonight. And, you know, OG came into this game. I think he missed his last 16 threes or something like that. So ever since the 40-point game down in Denver, he's been struggling with his shot. But tonight, I think OG Anunoby, 4-7 from 3, 7-10 from the field, 18 points. Just amazing game from him. Cat. Big old cat. Karl-Anthony freaking Towns. Almost had one of the craziest highlights you'll ever see with a Magic Johnson type of pass, which I was hoping Mikal Bridges would have just made the shot because that would have been a crazy highlight. But guys, Karl-Anthony Towns, what more can you say? This dude is amazing. This dude is incredible. 23 points, 15 boards, 2 blocks. Just an incredible game from Cat. He's just been awesome all season long, and that trade just continues to bear fruit. Jalen Brunson. I want to point out Jalen Brunson because I thought Jalen Brunson came out tonight with a sense of intensity, a sense of urgency to want to win this game. And the team fed off of that because, like I said earlier, Magic went up 8. You know, they went up 8. We're hitting, I think they hit 3 straight threes. They started 3 from 3 from 3. And mind you, the Magic aren't really a good 3-point shooting team, right? But I thought Jalen Brunson really set the tone early. 6 or 8 first quarter points, just dominating. I mean, he was dominating, what's his name, all night. I mean, they put Caldwell Pope on him. No match. Sorry, no match. So I thought Jalen Brunson just set the tone, and the guys fed off of that. And then the bench comes in, right? The good old bench, man. Campaign and Deuce McBride. Deuce with his best game of the season, I believe. 18 points, 4 assists. Just hitting 3 after 3 after 3 in the second quarter. Just absolutely incredible game from Deuce. And Campaign brings that freaking energy. Like I said, I love Campaign being that energizer ball for the New York Knicks coming in off the bench. And A+ performance from your New York Knickerbockers, offensively and defensively. And look, watch out now. Are you guys starting to get some January feels? Some 2024 January feels a little bit. Still early. 5 straight at MSG. 8-2 in our last 10. We're starting to. There's some mojo starting to form here with this basketball group. There is. And I feel it. How many games now until the Knicks get to Vegas? Hit him up says. I believe it's 2, if I'm not mistaken. I can double check that. Wild Boy Trey, what's going on? Definitely won the cat trade. Wild Boy Trey says. That Karl-Anthony Towns trade is bearing fruit right now. I mean, he's just an absolutely incredible player, and his passing has been on full display all season long. Smash the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Once again, reminder, you guys can join in the Discord. Hop in the Discord if you guys wanted to call into the post game. But smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And, yeah, that cat trade is, yeah. Shout out to Leon, man. Shout out to Leon. Yo, Alpha says, I thought this could be the best, highest game, but the Knicks didn't give a F at the end. That's what I love, man. Eddie says we must build off this win. What's going on, Eddie? Coach, what's going on? Wagner was very physical. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Wagner. Not Franz Wagner, his brother. What's his name? It's the other Wagner, Moritz Wagner, if I'm saying that correctly. He tried to test Karl-Anthony Towns early, and Cat wasn't having it, man. First of all, the highlight with Cat trying to back him down, and you see him clearly put his shoulder into Cat. Cat looks at the ref, dead stare. I'm not sure if he was looking at the ref. I'll pull up the highlight here in a second, but he was just dead stare and then step back 3 from Karl-Anthony Towns. Just an awesome moment from Towns, and I'll pull up the highlight right now at Knicks Nation on Twitter, just in case you guys know, by the way. I'll try to pull up the highlights. Yeah, this was the highlight with what I'm talking about with Karl-Anthony Towns and Wagner. Just an awesome moment in the game. Wagner clearly puts his shoulder into Cat. Cat's like, bro, are you serious? Cat never gets calls. It is what it is at this point. And this is the play I was talking about with Cat with the crazy under the leg. Magic Johnson, no look past the Mikal, and all Mikal Bridges had to do was hit the shot. Mikal. Damn. I wanted that so bad, man. I wanted that shot, man. I wanted that shot. Big win. Big win for you New York Knickerbockers. Big win, man. And look, we've been saying, look, highs and lows, right? This Knicks team has been dealing with highs and lows. Haven't really been consistent, and what you're seeing over these last 10 games is the consistency. 3-2 on the West Coast trip, sign me up. You lose in Utah, yes, always a tough place to play, but you bounce back. Mikal's starting to get it going. I think the Knicks have played the least home games in the NBA. And now, on this homestand, you're 2-0. And what I love about this team right now is that they're taking care of business in Madison Square Garden. You want to be a dominant team in this league, you have to take care of home court. And you have to feed off the crowd, and this Knicks team has been. And what you're starting to see is a unit, is a group that's starting to get it. They're starting to click. They're starting to form a lot of chemistry with that bench unit, with Campaign and Deuce. And even Jericho Sims has been playing his ass off, defending the rim, grabbing rebounds here and there. So wanted to give my little shine to Jericho. He's been playing his ass off as well. And this starting 5 is just starting to get it right now. Everything's starting to click. Josh Hart triple-double. I think Josh Hart has recorded his 7th triple-double as a Knick, which surpasses Mark Jackson for the 5th most such in franchise history. That is from the Knicks PR. That's crazy. Surpassing Mark Jackson, Josh Hart. Congratulations to freaking Josh. Yeah, just an amazing game. Another triple-double from Josh Hart, and he's been absolutely incredible. And this Magic team, right? Number one, what are they? Top 2 in defense, if not number 1. And the Knicks put 71 points on them in the first half. So I don't know about the big bad Magic, man. The Knicks humbled the Magic tonight. They were like, all right, you guys are getting your shine. You know, we're starting to figure it out over here in MSG, in NYC. And I love it, man. I love it. Mike says, tonight made me wonder if we were always a good defensive team and the refs just been dictating the games because it was clean all the way through tonight. And when you let us play, this is what happens. Yeah, I thought it was a physical game. Look, Magic play physical. They're top 2 or the number 1 defense for a reason. I mean, the Magic, boy, they have length to them, right? I mean, it seems like everyone in that starting 5 is 6'7". Or 6'6", like the Knicks, right? But the Magic have a bunch of wings and they play hard, but not tonight. Hold this L, Orlando. Hold this L. Sorry if I'm being a little bit obnoxious. You know, all we heard was about the big bad Magic, and I just have to, you know, get it out. I know it's still early, but I respect them as a unit, but. You know, I'm just happy that this Knicks team is starting to figure it out and starting to find a rhythm. Cat is having fun in New York. Disc Rover. No, I'm not on Blue Sky Disc Rover. Actually, I am. It's at Nick Nation, but I'm not active on Blue Sky. If Kale hit that shot, they'd go down. That'll go down all time and high. And yeah. If Mikal Bridges hit that shot, man, the under the leg sweep through pass from Karl-Anthony Towns right through the opponent's head, almost hit his head, the no-look pass, that would have been one of the best plays. But unfortunately, the basketball guys didn't want us to get that moment, but we still got a crazy pass from Cat. And I think that moment, look, Cat is obviously a tremendous passer. Look, I came into this trade with the thoughts of, look, he's a great 3-point shooter. He's going to space the floor, can give you a little bit of low post game. But guys, I mean, you know my stance on that. Look, he has blown my expectations out the window. He has. And I'm sure he has blown everyone's expectations through the roof. I'm sure no one really thought that we would get this version of Karl-Anthony Towns. If you did, I mean, credit to you. But the passing has been incredible. The rebounding has been incredible. The post-up work has been incredible. Defense, you know, question mark. But it's starting to get better. And they said that he was soft. They said Karl-Anthony Towns was soft. And I just love the fire that he brought tonight. The clapping in Wagner's face. Like, nah, you're not going to do that here. And we're going to smoke you out of MSG. So Cat has just been incredible. Simply incredible. Tell Minnie Mouse to come up here. Chris, what's going on? Now, this is the way it is supposed to be. What's going on, Chris? Straight domination from you New York Knickerbockers, man. We've been talking about it. And just, look, 106 points from the Magic, 121 from you New York Knickerbockers. Let's go to the team stats here. It is another game. It is another game where your New York Knickerbockers have 30 assists. Another victory, another game with 30-plus assists in a win. Everyone is selfless, man. The ball moves. It's not sticking. Brunson seems to have found it. He's becoming that floor general. He's picking his spots. He's getting to his spots. And remember early on in the season, the around the rim stuff, the mid-range stuff, Brunson wasn't converting. But now he's he has a rhythm. He's playing like a freaking MVP, and Cat is playing like an MVP as well. So the assists are up. Mikal is starting to form some a rhythm, and that's all you want to see. Points in the paint, 48 for this Knicks team. Largest lead, 37. Largest lead for the Magic, 8. And that lead was early on in the game. The 8-point lead from the Magic. And like I said, credit to the Knicks for being poised and bouncing back. And ladies and gentlemen, what I've been talking about all season long, the New York Knicks are number 1 in the NBA in free throw percentage. 20 of 20 at the free throw line tonight. From the charity strike, 20 of 20 as a unit. Boy, does that bring music to mind. That man. As we all know, in years past, free throws have been our bugaboo, but this year it's just been incredible. 42% from 3, Magic 23%. And look, credit to the Knicks defense, man. I mean, the Knicks defensively have, they've been better. They have been. And what have we been saying? Defensively, if you can get to that top 15, top 10 is where Tom Thibodeau wants it to be at. When Precious comes back, and we got some good Precious news that he's on the verge of returning, about a week or so away. Mitch, it can only get better from there. But you're seeing some good rotations. And I thought the Knicks defensive plan tonight against Wagner was great. They were going underneath the pick and rolls. Look, Wagner got his points. I mean, he still got 30 and what did he have? 30 and 6 assists, 3 steals, but nobody else was doing anything. So, and it was on an inefficient night from Wagner. So, great game, man. Great game. Coach Year, most talented big in the NBA. Let's go. Cat is a top 5 MVP candidate. He better be. When that MVP ladder comes out from NBA, Karl-Anthony Towns better be up there as a top 5 MVP candidate because, like I said earlier, man, he does everything. Defensively, obviously, if you want to point at anything in his game, okay, defensively. But I think, he's been okay, man. He has, throughout his career, he's never, that's not what you want from Cat. But when he locks in and defends, like we saw in the Western Conference Finals versus Jokic, he can do it. And the Knicks have found something defensively with their sets and, Cat, top 5 MVP candidate, man. Let's go. Let's go. Tony, we got to protect the ball better. Way too many turnovers tonight for us. Last 2 games in a row, 14 turnovers. Yeah, we'll clean it up. That's the beauty, man. You go home with a blowout win, and there's still things to clean up. Look, not perfect, but like I said, the big bad Orlando Magic. Well, that's what we were hearing, man. And the Knicks just, absolutely kicked their ass tonight. Just straight up dominated this game from start to finish. And that's what you want to see. And I'm going to pull up the schedule here in a second. It's looking sexy, I'll tell you that. But, obviously you can't take anyone lightly. You can't take anyone, can't look at that game and say, okay, that's a dub. But Knicks' schedule is starting to open up here, and we can start to rack up some of these W's. Migs, Knicks Emirates Cup champions 2024. Let's go. Vegas, trip to Vegas. Imagine if the Knicks get to Vegas. Oh, no, that's enticing, man. That's enticing. Trip to Vegas. I think Brunson said he wants the guys at the end of the bench to, obviously he wants to win the $500,000 for them. And Josh Hart said he wants to win the $500,000 for a new watch. Josh Hart's hilarious. But, hey, it's doable. You mean to tell me you can't beat the Hawks in advance? It's definitely doable. If the Knicks played every game like it's Game 7, they would finish with tremendous record. I hope they do that. Yeah. They're starting at 8-2 in our last 10. They're starting to obviously form some type of chemistry here. And defensively is what's really improving, and Disrover says defensively is what's improving, and I agree. Defensively, the New York Knicks are improving as a unit, and if you look at their schedule here, look, you allowed 98 to Charlotte, right? You allowed 85 to the Pelicans. Now I know the Pelicans are like a G League team at this moment, and 106 to the Magic, but you really didn't. You took your foot off the gas in the fourth quarter, so that easily could have been below 90. So defense is definitely improving, and yeah, I mean, look at all these W's on this schedule. Ever since the Philly game, obviously the hiccup for Chicago, hiccup at Utah, hiccup at Dallas, but it's the NBA, man. You got 82 of these things, right? And 82 games, it's a long season. You go through ebbs and flows of the season. But right now, what you're seeing from this club is a lot of W's right now in the month of November. And in December, you got Charlotte coming up. You got Detroit, at Toronto, at Minnesota, which would be a doozy. Julius Randle and Dante are going to get up for that game. That game's going to be an emotional game. Cat going back to Minnesota. At New Orleans versus Toronto, Christmas Day, San Antonio. So in the month of December and even in January, the schedule is really, really looking nice for the New York Knicks. But obviously you want to come out with W's. But tonight was what the thing I loved about tonight was, like I said earlier, you circled this game on your calendar. You kind of like, okay, Pelicans, okay, you did what you had to do. But I wanted to see how the New York Knicks were going to react tonight against a team that has been dominating the NBA. And from start to finish, they came out with urgency. They came out with a killer mentality. And they sent the Magic home real quick. Real quick. What's impressive is how many games we have just blown the doors off of our opponent. I want the Celtics in the Garden. Let's go. Yeah, I want that. Celtics in the Garden. I'm not sure we see them until next year, February. That's when they come to the Garden. We're going to have to wait a long time for that one. Mike says, I had absolutely no idea this is the level of play Thundercat could get to. All the accusations about his were absolutely wrong. Yeah, Mike. Karl-Anthony Towns is playing like an MVP candidate. Double machine every single game, gobbling up every single rebound. What did he have versus the Pelicans? He had 10 rebounds in the first quarter or something like that. And tonight, what we saw was he's not standing down, man. He's not standing down. He tried to get tested by Wagner, then went right at him and had some nice highlights tonight. Once again, I'll bring up the Mikal play, but Cat has just been awesome. And guys, look, I'll be honest with you, man. I wanted go back to the summertime with the podcast we did. I didn't want Cat because I kept going back to his contract. I kept going back to, I don't want that money on our books. That is why I'm not a GM. That is why I'm sitting here today streaming to you guys, just giving my opinion. And I appreciate you guys hearing my opinion, but he's just proved me wrong. And I'm sure he's proved many of you wrong. He's just been awesome. And he's just embracing everything, man. He's embracing the city. He's embracing Brunson. You see him on IG, reposting a bunch of stuff. Little things like that matters is what I kind of like. Okay, Cat's, he's supportive, man. He's a supportive teammate. And little things like that go a long way, man. Just so simple, repost or it's stuff. I know it sounds corny, but, he's just doing it all, man. He's embracing everything. And I'm happy that he's a New York Knick because He's freaking awesome. He is freaking awesome. If we play like this against the Hawks, we'll be up by 50 and our bench can't play the whole second half. Hey, man, those Hawks, we lost to them early on in the season. They just beat Cleveland, I think, in back-to-back games. Those Hawks are scrappy. They got a good young core building in Atlanta. Obviously, the rookie killed us in Atlanta. He's been playing well. Trae Young has been dishing out assists like crazy. So the Hawks are scrappy, man. But NBA Cup, the Knicks advance. They play the Hawks now in the quarterfinals. And after that, I think you play another game after that, and then you go to Vegas for the final. So I'm sure I could pull out a NBA Cup bracket for you guys. But yeah, the Hawks are scrappy. So don't put it past the Hawks to. All right, let me pull up the bracket. They haven't updated the bracket. NBA.com hasn't updated the bracket. Yeah, so you would have the quarterfinals, then you would have another game, and then you have the championship game after that. So the Knicks have two more wins in the NBA Cup to advance to Las Vegas and hopefully host up that trophy. What do you guys think of the Cup, man? I posted a tweet about it. Do you guys care about the NBA Cup? Or, I mean, is it still is it still like growing on you? I think it's pretty cool. The courts are cool. But I'm more worried about this signature win that the Knicks just pulled off. But I don't know. NBA Cup doesn't really. Obviously, if the Knicks advance to the final, I'm going to be thrilled about it. But we just have to wait to see. Joel, Cat's weight right now is perfect. Love that Karl Anthony Towns is a New York Knick. Yeah, Joel. Bobby says, cannot take any of these teams lightly. Bring your lunchbox. Get the job done. Let's go, Knicks. You can't. Look, in a season where you've lost to the Utah Jazz in Utah, and I know it's a house of horrors for this team, you just cannot take anyone lightly. And the Hawks, it does count towards a regular season record, if you guys didn't know. So it's not like these games now don't count towards our record. I think the only game that doesn't count towards our record is the final game. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But look, don't take these teams lightly. Right? And I know in December, let me go to December. So this is where all this is getting played. Like December 9th to the 19th, we have 10 days off. So if we didn't advance in the Cup, the New York Knicks would have 10 days off. That's a nice little stretch off. But we advance, we play Atlanta, and all of that will be in during this time frame between the 9th and the 19th. So, yeah. The Knicks can very well win the NBA Cup and go to Minnesota for that game at Minnesota. And that'll be a doozy. But, yeah, man, just great freaking win, man. I mean, look, the Orlando Magic, they're going to be one of those teams that you're going to have to go through, right? Like, I believe that when it's all said and done, the Magic will be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. They're a great team, man. Defensively, they're a young, scrappy group. So tonight was a signature win. And obviously we play them again, and I think, the end of December. But just an awesome win for this Knicks team, man. Just start to finish, man. Start to finish. The big bag Magic, 13-8 on the season. Let's talk about Deuce McBride a little bit. So Deuce McBride tonight, I thought I didn't really get to really talk about Deuce tonight, right? Deuce in pain, man. McBride, obviously he's been dealing with that knee injury, right? Hasn't really looked like his normal self early on in the season, even when he got back. But now, I think over this past week, look, he closed over Mikal in the Charlotte game, and he's back, man. Deuce is loose. The Deuce McBride is back. And what I love is that the chemistry he's forming with Campaign, that duo is fast. That duo plays smart. And that duo can shoot the lights out. And I'm really excited to watch Deuce, Payne, and Precious off that bench. I'm really excited to watch that. Because Campaign, what he did in the first quarter, just getting the crowd involved and screaming out the crowd and, doing all his Campaign shenanigans, which I absolutely love. Love that guy, man. Love Campaign, man. Bring the pain. Bring the freaking pain. But that duo, yeah. Payne has been incredible. And, guys feed off of that. Guys feed off of that energy. And you need that. You need that crazy. Every team needs a crazy guy. Every team needs someone crazy. And Payne is that dude. But Deuce has, obviously, what Deuce did in the playoffs last year was amazing for us. The contract he's on is absolutely insane. But Deuce is a hell of a player. And what you're seeing is he's also helping our defense. Deuce is helping our defense. And love me some Deuce, man. Deuce and Payne. And freaking hopefully Precious can get back on there on the court soon, because that bench unit is playing well right now, and you can build off of that. The bench play with the starters, with Mikal doing his thing now, seems like he's back in a form, and the half court shot to end the first half was crazy. Not half court shot, but the 3-point shot to end the first half. I love it. Deuce is our future. Let's go, Deuce. Mark my words, if Deuce stays with us, he'll become our next captain when JB retires. I love Deuce, man. Just love him. And look, that's why the Knicks felt comfortable dishing Dante to Minnesota. That's why this trade was a no-brainer trade. Looking back at it, the Cat trade, I don't want to, go back to that, but that's why this Knicks front office felt comfortable, including Dante in that, because they love their bench. They love the speed of their bench. And Cat is just, look, man, he's a great player. He's a great player. That's all I'm going to say without, ragging on anyone. Sam B, NBA Cup is cool, but rest might be more valuable than winning it for the Knicks. Yes, Sam B. As I pointed out, that was 10 days off that every team not in the Cup gets in December. It's a nice little rest, but if the Knicks lose to Atlanta in their next one, you still get a week off. So, but I'm sure the Knicks are going to be fired up for that matchup and, want to go to Vegas and travel to Vegas and, hey, I mean, hoist the banner. NBA Cup 2024, your New York Knickerbockers. That banner in MSG. It's been a while for an NBA championship banner. 73. But I'm sure a lot of Knicks fans won't like that NBA Cup banner being hung up in MSG. But 3 more wins, and we get that NBA Cup banner for whatever it's worth. It's exciting. Bobby says, just saw the whole bench was a plus minus. Got to be better than that. Bobby, that's where the plus minus stat kind of is like such a wonky stat, man, because obviously, Bobby, I'm sure you were watching the game, but look, Deuce McBride was a -2. Campaign was a -3. That means nothing to me because in the first quarter, second quarter, Deuce McBride was a major reason why the New York Knicks built their lead to 20, to 25. Campaign didn't really do much with, I mean, he had 7 points, 3 assists, brought energy though. There was a play that I'll bring up here in a second, but yeah, that's where the plus minus stats, I don't care about that that stat, because Deuce McBride and Campaign were really bringing tons of energy in the first half. Let me bring up the play that I'm talking about. All right, this was the opening possession in the second quarter. Knicks are up 9, right? So you have Deuce handling the rock. Obviously, the chemistry with Mikal goes off a foot. Deuce gives it to Payne. Payne gives it to Deuce. Deuce gives it to Payne. Payne gives it to Mikal. I mean, that's chemistry. Like, that's trusting your teammates. And that play right there was out. Like, I sat back and I was like, wow. Like, this Knicks team is finding something. Like, they're truly finding something. And obviously 8-2 in our last 10, they're hitting their stride. But that play right there, obviously Deuce and Payne with the chemistry with Mikal. And that's why Mikal leads the league in minutes, because Tom Thibodeau wants to get him in with the bench unit. He wants to play him more with the bench unit because they play faster at a faster pace. But even now, what you're seeing from Mikal is chemistry with Brunson, chemistry with Cat, and he's nailing his threes, man. He heard the noise. Shout out to Mikal. Just all around great win for this New York Knicks team. 13-8. 5 straight in MSG. Love it. We really got a big 5 starting lineup. Wild Boy Trey says big 5 starting lineup. Yeah. Look, Wild Boy, look. Anytime you can throw out a lineup that we have of Cat, Brunson, OG, Mikal, and Hart, number 1 in the NBA in offensive rating, man. There is a reason why the New York Knicks are number 1. I believe we're number 1 in offensive rating right now. But anytime you throw out that lineup, and that's what made that lineup, the Cat trade just made it even more dangerous. The offense is a cheat code when everyone is hitting their shots. It's a cheat code. It's like you're playing NBA 2K and you have the sliders on and it's a cheat code, man. I mean, and when you add Deuce in that mix, you saw a lot of Deuce with Cat and Mikal and Payne. So many lineups like that, which I'm looking at and which I love, because the floor is just opens up even more. You have Deuce playing the way he's playing. You have Cat. When he catches that ball at the top of the key, Cat's fake is lethal. Like when he fakes up to go shoot a 3, and then when he looks at his opponent and he sees his opponent come into him, Cat drives right past him. You have a 7-foot big man just taking 3 steps and he's to the hoop already. So, yeah, the offensively, we're freaking legit, and we're second right now in offensive rating from this team ranking site, right behind Cleveland. Yeah, so it's Cleveland, New York, Boston. Those are your 3 best offenses in the NBA. Not sure if this updated tonight. Not sure if we jumped to number 1. We very well could have jumped to number 1. But either way, 1, 2, 3, top 5. I mean, what you want to see is defense, right? And we talked about it earlier. Knicks defensively have found something. They've, Bridges, right? Wingstop is back open. Bridges is at the register, working hard. Early on in the season, Wingstop wasn't open. And Anobi was doing his thing, working by himself. But Wingstop is back open, ladies and gentlemen. And these last 3 games, couple of games for Bridges, That is the Mikal Bridges we traded for. That is the Mikal Bridges we want to see on a consistent basis. And look, he's going to have hiccup games. He's going to have games where he scores 10, 15 points, like 10 points. But defensively, you want to see him more engaged. But Wingy Hut Jr. is open. Is back open. So, absolutely incredible game from the squad and building a stepping stone in the right direction. You build off of this. Now you have some winnable games at home. Charlotte, don't overlook them. Please don't. They play hard. If anything showed us a couple of days ago, Charlotte plays hard, extremely hard. So even though they're down some guys, you can't overlook these teams that are dealing with a lot of injuries. And hopefully you get Precious back and you just go from there. But this Knicks team is starting to hit their stride. And, obviously we know the sky's the limit. Still early, but I love what I'm seeing. Domination, start to finish from the squad. And how about those big, bad Magic? Oh, boy. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate every single one of you joining me tonight. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm in the process of actually coming out with some merch, some hats, some Knicks Nation hats. So be on the lookout for that. Appreciate the support. It really means a lot. If you wanted to become a member, you can by just hitting that join button. It supports me. Appreciate everything. But I appreciate you guys supporting the chat, man. It really means a lot. And heck of a Knicks win. We're hitting our stride. And as always, is let's go Knicks. Look out for more content on the way. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.